So my friends, I have a question for you. Should UK backpackers be wearing camo gear? Now I've made this video because I believe that our tenuous freedom to wild camp is under threat, and wild camping is busier than ever now. Now it still remains illegal to camp in England and Wales, and this video mainly applies to that, but could apply to anywhere in the world. If you're enjoying this video, think about subscribing. Many of you watching this don't, and you'll get loads more content like this that's a little bit different, I hope. Now it's our duty to always obey the wild camping rules, but as well as being low-key visually, I believe that we should keep our clothing low-key as well. With this lovely Lee 1 in the background and my kind of fairly subdued clothing, I stand much less chance of being seen, and therefore scratching the itch of people that want to stop wild camping rather than this. This Simond Macalou is a lovely jacket, but regarding the distant farmland and the village over there, I'm much more likely to be seen. Now, I'm all for great, fine looking outdoor clothing, but the question is, and this is a discussion, not rules, how far do we need to go to maintain a low visual impact and protect our tenuous freedom to wild camp? Now Honey is sporting her Arctic Fox fursuit for winter, and she blends in nicely. I'm not suggesting that we should wear full-on camo gear, because camouflage for military purposes makes you stand out even more, sets you aside as a kind of bushcrafter alternative type, but I'm just talking about kind of more discreet gear. Now, why do I ask this question? It's just that I feel that our UK hills and wild camping spots are being placed under increased pressure. Now, I'm guilty as the next man in the past of wearing kind of like bright gear, but some of my friends, and I saw them wearing very low profile equipment, dark shades, and I kind of questioned it a little bit. I was like, well, you know, there's no enemy here. What is the need for this greeny beigey gear? Now, I know a lot of this clothing already came from kind of hunting backgrounds, the Fjallraven gear that a lot of us really like. Ridgegate trousers by Harehill, a really good tough pair of trousers. I'm wearing the Fjern Breen jacket that's a synthetic jacket. Still got some bright gear, and you'll see me wearing it occasionally, and I have to admit it looks good for filming. Interestingly, people including myself have slated the Ultra TNT material for standing out. What stands out more? Helleberg sand, Mountain Hardware orange, or Ultra TNT. When we're wild camping, arrive late, leave early, travel in small groups, and be nice and quiet. So why wouldn't we do that with our clothing itself? I know what you're thinking, that what if you really need to be seen for safety purposes? So you've got all this discreet gear with you, you're making a low visual impact. So what's worth carrying is a simple rescue flag with a reflective strip on it. This weighs just, I don't know, 15-20 grams, packs up tiny. Just leave it in your first aid kit or something that you take every time with you, and you've always got a way of attracting visual attention by choice. So there are alternatives. Somebody's suggested that he always uses a bright sleeping bag that he could put outside his tent for signalling purposes, or he could wear a reversible jacket. But I asked a friend of mine, Will, that's got decades of experience on a mountain rescue team. Now, he's retired from that now, and his opinions are his own and don't represent the mountain rescue fraternity as a whole, but it's worth getting his perspective. Well, while we're on the subject, we're both wearing green. You were involved in mountain rescue for a long time. What do you think about walkers wearing kind of like discrete dark colours?
I personally don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I think providing you have something with you that you could use to identify where you are, like, you know, a good old orange survival bag, high-vis jacket, or a German's rescue flag would be ideal.
Thanks for that, Will.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. We're not camping tonight, but I'm really pleased to get the Lee 1 back up again. It's a lovely tent, just with 4 pegs there, sitting nice in this light breeze. So this isn't meant to be a definitive guide, it's a discussion. And if you don't agree, give us a like anyway, because I'm sure you'll agree it's an interesting subject, and without exception we'll all want to protect our future wild camping. But I'd really like to know in the comments below what you think. Which side of the fence are you on? Now, as a bonus at the end here, I've put in a big section of the German bag video and a link to that, so make sure you watch that, because there's a lot of great tips there on using low profile equipment as a shelter and for signalling. So I've put at the end the signalling section, but think about watching the whole video. And of course, for a alternative signalling, inside here is the included orange flag, so you could be snuggied down inside and you can use that, and that strip in the middle is highly reflective for torchlight, etc. So you could tie that round your neck or to your body or to your rucksack and have a signal. If you did want to be found, the silver LU coating is highly reflective, and you could signal with that for a long distance, and that's only at half the size at the moment, so I'm sure you'd agree that's extremely visible. This is only my first couple of weeks of using the Fjern, and I've already found it absolutely indispensable. Now, what are the pros and cons with the Fjern? I think you've seen a lot of the pros that I've illustrated in this video. Now, 2 cons I can think of. There's one, the price. They're not an inexpensive thing at all, but they're actually guaranteed for 10 years, so there's faith in the product. And the other thing, this particular model, being mylar coated and PU coated inside, isn't breathable at all. Now, that's partly by intention, because if you're a hunter and you want to maintain as low presence as possible, that's going to trap your smells inside. And of course, a completely waterproof PU coated is completely windproof as well, but that will inevitably cause condensation. So you'll definitely need to manage that condensation with your layering system and breath ventilation inside. Other than that, it's a fantastic piece of kit and really, really versatile. So I hope you've enjoyed this first look at the German bag. Don't forget, there's discount codes to take you to Wild and Moor here in the UK. They have generously offered a discount on this, and I would strongly recommend you think about getting one. As I said, I'm never going to be without one now. It'll really come into its own when the weather's inclement and you really want to get warm quickly, but I'm sure you've seen many other potential applications, and put in the comments below what your previous experience with this type of device might have been before, and whether you're thinking of it might be useful for you for hiking and backpacking. Highly recommended. Thanks for watching.